Wrestling fans, we are 6 days away. 6 days away from one of the most exciting pay-per-views on a calendar year. The Royal Rumble. And on paper, this looks like a pretty good show. Has some unpredictable stuff that could happen, some unpredictability. We got Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, all that, plus so much more, plus the Royal Rumble matches themselves. But wrestling fans, when we think about the Royal Rumble, we think about the event, we think about the prestige of the event and the legacy of the Royal Rumble. This year, what's happened over this past month with Brock Lesnar becoming WWE champion, Seth Rollins getting Drew McIntyre's place and becoming the number one contender for the Universal Championship because Drew McIntyre is off trying to get his neck well. With all that happening, it has made the Royal Rumble very unpredictable. Including, that's not the only reason why it's unpredictable. Another reason why it's unpredictable is because we could very well see, just because based on how they are building him up, we could very well see the 8 foot tall, 400-pound plus, oh my, win the Royal Rumble match. I can't believe I'm saying it. I can't believe I'm actually agreeing with some people out there that has been talking about it for a while. But we could possibly see it. They have been building him up. He squashed AJ Styles to oblivion. Not very well, because Omos still can't put together a good matchup. He's a mixture of the Great Khali and the Giant Gonzalez. The way he moves, the way he hits, to his finisher, everything. So, if he wins, I'm scared for the main event of WrestleMania as far as Raw's side, because that has completely sunken down to something that I just don't want to see whatsoever. But wrestling fans, overall, the Royal Rumble this year has some unpredictability and promises to be, at least on paper, a decent show. And let's go over the card, shall we? First things first, Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. First time matchup, a match we all wanted to see, a match that, quite frankly, it's going to be a barn burner, as to use some old wrestling terms that they used to use. It is going to be an absolute barn burner, this match is. I'm ready to see it. I'm going to be at the Dome in St. Louis with my brother, and needless to say, it's both of ours very first Royal Rumble as far as being there live. But Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley is going to be a great matchup. But look, if Brock Lesnar wins, then it kind of makes the Roman Reigns Seth Rollins match a little predictable. Because if Brock Lesnar wins, then Seth Rollins is going to walk out victorious. I mean, he just is. Because WWE is not going to long-term book a champion versus champion matchup. This is not the 90s. This is not the early 90s. You know, back when, for example, when Sergeant Slaughter took on Hulk Hogan, and we could all realize that was the direction they were going to go in, and we kind of knew that was the direction they were going to go in, all the way back at the Survivor Series of the previous year. So of 1990 all the way to WrestleMania. We knew that was the direction. WWE doesn't operate that way anymore. They just don't. They're not going to book champion versus champion for WrestleMania. It'd be nice. It'd be cool. It'd be something different, but it's not going to happen. Now, on the other hand, what if Bobby Lashley wins? What if Bobby Lashley wins? Then we get the Omos situation. Because I don't think we probably get the Omos situation, or, we'll get Brock Lesnar entering the Royal Rumble match as a surprise. Okay? As a surprise. Now, you know, WWE did tease Seth Rollins and Big E as a program. They did it for day one. I understand that. They also did it for Raw as of late. They had a one-on-one matchup. If that's not them teasing something for later on down the road, I don't know what it is, okay? I really don't know what it is. So, Big E winning the Royal Rumble. I don't like them going backwards with him because they already damaged him. And that's just them trying to rewrite the ship that they sunk already with Big E. You know, when he was WWE champion, he shouldn't have been doing all this New Day stuff. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. None of that stuff. He shouldn't have been doing that garbage. What he should have been doing is being a serious champion. Serious. Coming out there, having his own character, being himself. Standing out. That's what Big E should have done. That ship's sunk. I mean, it's gone now. Okay? It is gone. So, I don't really want to see Big E win, but you know what? If he does win, then most assured it'll be a Seth Rollins Big E matchup. I don't want to see a Bobby Lashley Big E match again. I just don't. So somehow, you know, I really think Roman Reigns is coming up short with the title. At the Royal Rumble. I just do. I can't see them putting the title on Bobby Lashley again. I just don't see it. I mean, if he was going to become champion, he would have already done it. He would have done it already. WWE would have... He would have been the one that was going to win at day one. And he wasn't the one that was going to win at day one. He wasn't. He was not the one that was supposed to win. So, got a lot of different directions WWE could go with this. You know, if Roman Reigns loses the Seth Rollins, he could enter the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble. Or they could just scrap all that and they could move the Lesnar Reigns situation to the Elimination Chamber. And the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which is in Saudi Arabia, which is, you know, they're going to use Brock Lesnar in some form or fashion. So they could use the Elimination Chamber to book that matchup for WrestleMania. That's just a possibility, guys. Okay, let's not just all of a sudden sit here and fantasy book the Royal Rumble match itself, because I know a lot of the stuff that I was just throwing out there had a lot of good possibilities, with the exception of Hamas. Look, I know it had a lot of good possibilities, but let's not forget the Saudi show, okay? Elimination Chamber. And WWE always likes to make the biggest, grandest house show that they can possibly have over there in Saudi Arabia. So, let's not forget about that. Edge and Beth Phoenix take on The Miz and Maurice. Okay, who cares? That's really how I feel about it. Honestly, when we look at this matchup and we look at this feud, I'm ready for Saturday to be over with as far as this rivalry is over, as this rivalry is concerned, and Edge to get to something more important. When we think about Edge's comeback, when we think about Edge being back in WWE wrestling, what do we really think of? Rollins, Orton, Reigns. What we don't really like to think of is a mediocre at best matchup with The Miz, and then a mixed tag team encounter at the Royal Rumble. That's not what strikes out to me as being, wow. This is why the rated R superstar Edge came back to the WWE. He came out of retirement to have a mediocre rivalry at best with The Miz. That's not what strikes as wow to me. Okay, so I really hope that after the Royal Rumble, he's done and gone with this Miz stuff, and we can get on to something more important. I don't know, maybe AJ Styles. I don't know. If Seth Rollins is the Universal Champion, how about another rival with Seth Rollins? I know that has been floating around here lately. There's a number of superstars he could face. But I tell you one thing, one match that I would love to see is him versus AJ Styles before he officially ends his career and hangs up the boots for good. That's just me, wrestling fans. Y'all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Doudrop takes on Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Before we move on, y'all don't forget to subscribe to the channel today. Hit that bell button and follow me on Facebook also at Wrestling1988. Follow Wrestling with Webby at Wrestling1988 over on Facebook. It's appreciated. A lot of good stuff goes over there, gets put on it. Follow me. It's going to be great. But make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button. Now, let's dive into Becky Lynch defending her title against Doudrop. Do any of you care? I know I don't. It will probably be one of my bathroom breaks during the Royal Rumble event this coming Saturday. I'm just going to be honest with you, because it is nothing more than a stepping stone for Becky Lynch on her way to WrestleMania. Doudrop doesn't stand a chance. She's going to lose, and then she's going to continue to bonsai her way to probably some random matchup or that battle royal thing they always have for the women at WrestleMania. That's it. The annual 20-woman battle royal or whatever it's called. She's going to bonsai drop her way to that event at WrestleMania. That's it. I hate, and you know what? I hate saying that about Doudrop, but excuse me. But she's been using that move over the last couple of weeks. So thank you, WWE, for getting all of us fans the image of Dewdrop being the female Yokozuna. Becky Lynch, most assured, gonna win. Now, who she faces at WrestleMania, well, that's a guaranteed. That's gonna be Bianca Belair. Don't see it being anyone else. They've been building up to a matchup. Bianca Belair, I don't know. I don't really want to see it, but that's what they're building up to. You know, so it really shows the lack of depth in the roster when we're going to have to see the same thing we saw at SummerSlam at WrestleMania. That says a lot. It also shows a lot of lack in depth on the roster when we have a women's Royal Rumble, and the majority of it, at least what they've announced, has been legends. That says a lot as well. And I'm not putting Charlotte in that category for all you Charlotte fans. I'm just not. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. You know, Charlotte's not winning. She's in a Royal Rumble match. She's not winning. Okay? I think she's going to get dumped over the top rope by Lita. Now, whether Lita wins or not, that's debatable. They could have Bianca Belair do it, pick up the victory, or they could just have Lita win the whole thing. This could be a thing where they have Lita just go in and win every bit of it. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. And then Lita challenges Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. And if the WWE title does not main event night one, Lita and Charlotte will. It's not going to be Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. I'm sorry. I don't want to see it. You know, quite frankly, I don't want to see Lita and Charlotte main event either. I don't. I want to see the most important rival main event, WrestleMania. Night one, and then the most important rival main event, night two. The two most important rivals in WWE. Those are the two that should main event headline WrestleMania. But chances are, if Lita wins and she challenges Charlotte, that will be your headline for WrestleMania. Unfortunately, y'all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. This has been your Royal Rumble preview. This is everything that we're going to see this coming Saturday. Will we see win the Royal Rumble matchup? I hope not. But I'll tell you one thing, wrestling fans. I'm looking forward to going to St. Louis and seeing the Royal Rumble for the first time live with my brother. Going to be a blast. But until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch all of you on the other side. Talk to you later.